Hello, you're in Canada on visitor visa, or maybe it's even your parents, or perhaps your siblings are in Canada and you're thinking of how to extend their visitor record. First of all, what's the visitor record? You know that when you are admitted into Canada, even if you have a 5-year valid visa, you cannot stay beyond the duration of 6 months. If you are towards the 6-month stay, then you need to apply for a visitor record extension. The process can look daunting because you have to go through the old portal as opposed to the new IRCC portal where things are really straightforward. You just fill the form online on the go and then you submit. But now the old portal is really tricky and some people don't even know where to start from. Don't worry. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can apply for that visitor record extension. Ensure that you are applying at least 1 month to the expiry of your stay in Canada, which means if you've entered Canada, you are at least within 5 months from the time you're submitting your application. So you need to allow for 30 days before the expiry of your stay as a visitor before you apply for the extension. You can no longer go across the border to apply. So this video will guide you through that process. But first of all, before we get started, if you're looking to applying to study in Canada and you're thinking of, okay, how do I secure my admission? You're in the right place. Provided you are subscribed to my channel and you are a member of this community, you can send me a DM, send 360 Travel and Tours a DM on Instagram or on TikTok, or even send us an email and we can help you to secure your admissions to schools in Canada. And even beyond, maybe you have schools in the UK, your sibling, your brother, your sister, your friend, your acquaintance, they want to study in the UK, they want to study in the US, and they're thinking of how to go about the process. Say no more. Send a DM. Provided you're a community member here, we're going to help you without charging a service fee for that process, just because. Back to visitor record extension. So I'm going to guide you through that process. You see how you're going to pre-download the forms, you register, fill in your intent on the IRCC portal, create a GC key, login, and then start your application process. Attach all the documents that you need to attach, indicate the reason that you want to extend, and you're good to go. So without wasting much of your time, first of all, make sure you're subscribed to this channel and let us get started on the visitor record process. Okay, we are live on the IRCC website, and as usual, I'm going to provide the link on the description box of this video so you could just copy it and redirect yourself to login. Since this is an English video, we're going to be following through with the English route. However, if you're French speaking, maybe you're applying from Cameroon or Senegal and you're watching this video, you can click on French here to proceed. So for my English speakers, let's get started. Now on the IRCC website, as you can see, our concern is with visiting Canada. There are other options like study, refugees and whatnot, so you just go straight to that concerns you. Remember, this is a visitor record application, so we just click on Visit Canada. Then you scroll down to Visit Canada, so you see where you are applying to. You want to apply for a visitor visa, that's not your business. So visitor record, extend your stay as a visitor, so you click on this, trying to extend your stay. Extend your stay in Canada, about the documents. So when you first come to Canada as a visitor, you use one of these documents to enter: a visitor visa, an electronic travel authorization, a valid passport or travel document. However, if you stay beyond a particular duration, you might need to apply for a visitor record. And referencing those who are coming from Nigeria or most African countries, you certainly need a visitor record if you're going to be staying in Canada beyond 6 months. You also need to start to apply for your visitor record at least 30 days before its expiry. So now, what's the visitor record? The visitor record is a document that allows you to stay in Canada longer as a visitor, a worker authorized to work without a work permit, or a student authorized to study without a study permit. For example, a child traveling with their mom on a visitor visa that is going to study in Canada on a study visa, then the child can qualify to start to study on visitor visa. However, once they stay to a duration, they need to apply for visitor record extension. So you must apply for a visitor record before your current status expires. Please note this is essentially important, so make sure you submit your application. Processing time currently says 186 days, so that's quite the duration, given that it's about let me see, if you calculate this, maybe about 6 months thereabout. So you want to ensure that you apply on time. Although while your application is being processed, you can legally remain in Canada. So you still want to confirm, but these are all basically from the information provided on the IRCC website. So our next thing is to click on how to apply here. We just click on it and then go down. So how to apply for a visitor record, you scroll down a bit, applying online. When you apply online, we get your application instantly, which can help us to process your application faster. So for Nigerians, obviously we don't have much choice, we're applying online. So, and this video is actually very essential for those of you, maybe you have your mom coming to visit and then you want to apply for her to stay beyond the normal regular duration that a visitor is allowed to stay. So you just scroll down to create an account or sign in. We're going to be clicking on this. So if you want to create an account, you don't have an existing account, you click here. If you already have an existing account on the IRCC website, then you just have to click here to sign in with your GC key. So to register for an account, I've clicked on it. It has redirected us here. So register with a GC key and a username. You click on it here, click on sign up, then you proceed. But since I already have a username, I'm just going to proceed to log in so that we can start the process. So sign in, click on continue, then enter my authenticator, which is the two-factor authentication code that we already have, 746962. Okay, I'm in, so I click on continue so that I can go straight to my account that has been created for this application and click on accept. Memorable dates, okay, we're in. So you're going to click on apply to come to Canada. Please enter your personal reference code. You do not have a personal reference code, so you just ignore this. Scroll down. I do not have a personal reference code. If you do not have a personal reference code, you need to answer a series of questions so that they can generate one for you to submit your application. So determine your eligibility and apply online. We're going to click on visitor visa. What would you like to do in Canada? Visit. How long are you planning to stay in Canada? Temporarily, less than 6 months. Select the code that matches one on your passport. It's NGA, Nigeria. What is your country of residence? That's your current country of residence. This is where it would integrate to the application that you are actually residing in Canada. So if you're presently in Canada, you should select Canada. That way it knows that you are applying for visitor record extension. So you select Canada. Do you have a family member who is a Canadian citizen or permanent resident and is 18 years or older? No. So I don't know if this applies to you. You certainly would choose appropriately. What's your date of birth? So for this case, let's just choose date of birth as we usually do. Let's choose it as July 22 or let's see here. Okay, 21 and just continue next. Have you lived in Canada as a permanent resident or landed immigrant? No. So this is not you and this is not your parents. They are not a permanent resident and neither are they a landed immigrant. They are non-immigrants because they came in on visitor visa. So if you are applying for your family as a representative member or maybe they're applying themselves, you can advise appropriately. So you click on no, then click on next. Are you a lawful permanent resident of the United States? No. What's your current immigration status in Canada? Visitor. Click on next. What is your marital status? If you're married, single, whatever, whatnot. So in my case, it's single. What's your province or territory of destination? If visiting multiple provinces or territories, select the one you'll be spending most time. So let's just choose Ontario for the purpose of this application and click on next. Based on the information you provided, the result below indicates whether you may be eligible to come to Canada. So you click on continue. It says you may be eligible to extend your stay in Canada. Please note this extend here, emphasis on it. It shows that the system has recognized that you intend to extend your stay. So you know you're actually doing what's correct. So you click on continue. You're almost there. You need to take a couple of more questions and click on continue once more. Are you accompanying a family member who has status in Canada? No. Click on next. when does your status in Canada expire? So let's assume that you're a visitor and your status in Canada as a visitor is due to expire. We're in 2025 and it's due to expire in December. So since this is November, so we're just going to choose that it's expiring in a month's time, sometime November or rather December 10, just a month from today. So this is assuming that you've already calculated that you're eligible to stay in Canada for a duration of 6 months. However, you spent up to 5 months and you have 30 days left, so you need to submit your application just in time before your current status expires. So you click on next. Have you had a medical exam performed by an IRCC authorized panel within the last 12 months? Most people who are staying in Canada would need an IRCC medical, so I would recommend, especially if you're staying beyond 6 months, you need it. So you probably need to do that way in advance before you even start your application. I recommend you have it done because it will prompt you to submit it. So we're going to choose yes. You can just go, if you're already in Canada, make sure you can get the medical result released to you the same day, then you can start your application and submit. So we're going to choose yes and click on next, because when you're extending, you are now staying beyond the 6 months that doesn't require the medicals done. You want to submit an application for a family member, maybe your husband or maybe your kids as well. They want to extend, you can choose yes and then you indicate their information as well. But in this case, let's assume that it's a single applicant, maybe a single parent, like in my own case. Then you click on next. Are you giving someone access to your application? Yes, I'll be appointing a representative to apply on my behalf. Yes, I grant authorized IRCC to release application to another person. Yes, both appointment, whatnot. In this case, no representative is being appointed. Applicant is submitting the application themselves. So we click on next. In the past 10 years, have you given your fingerprints, photo biometrics for an application to come to Canada? Of course. The biometrics you gave is valid for 10 years and that's why you're able to enter Canada with your recent visa. However, if you want to give it again, you can indicate, but yeah, yes here. There are fees associated with this application. Will you be paying for your fees or are you fee exempt? Yes, I'll be paying for my application fees. Next. Are you able to make a digital copy of your documents with a scanner or camera? Yes, please. Will you be paying your application fees online? To pay online, you can use a credit card, Visa, Master, American Express, whatnot, or Visa debit card. Yes, I'll be paying that. Okay, so here are the answers. You can review the answers you've given. They are all here. And if you think that one of them were provided wrongly, you can edit. Maybe you intend to go with the family member, you went with your child, you also want to extend your child's visitor record extension, you also wanted to do for your father's visitor record extension and not just your mom, whatnot. You can make those edits here and the system will still pick it up and then you proceed to click on continue. So you can see we're done with that. It says submitting your application. On the screen, you'll be asked to upload your documents for your application. Please do not use your browser's navigation buttons back and forth. So you must be logged into your account to submit an application. You cannot use another person's account. If you select the exit button, your information will be saved when you return. Just the regular information like I've done in previous videos. Here are some guidelines for your documents. Your documents must be in electronic format. You don't need to sign your application form by hand. If you submit your application form online, you'll be asked to provide a digital signature once you're ready to transmit your document. Digital signatures are usually provided at the end of the submission stage, so you don't need to worry yourself about digital signature. So PDF formats is what is acceptable. JPG format is also acceptable. You can also reduce and compress. The good thing about the old portal allows you to upload up to 4 MB worth of merged documents. So after that, you then sign electronically and pay your application fee. So you click on continue. Okay, then here we are, which is your document checklist. You need to fill the IME 5708, the most important application. So you click here to download the form. To fill it, once it's downloaded, I will guide you through the process. You fill, then you upload your international passport here, upload your proof of funds here. Remember to merge documents for your proof of funds here. So when you talk about merging documents for proof of funds, you're talking about, for example, your employment letter, your bank statements, your pay slips, all those information. You would merge them together and upload here. Your digital photo, which is a photograph of your face on white background, will be uploaded here. Proof of upfront medical required. You see what I said? So please go and do your medical before you start this process. So proof of upfront medical is required, so you need to upload it as well here. Then application for a temporary resident visa made outside of Canada, you also need to download this one and then fill it, which is the IME 5257. Client information includes additional information such as statement of purpose, maybe your landed property documents, information to show that you have home ties back to your country, that you're certainly going to be returning, and other added information, maybe like birth certificates, marriage certificates, a lot of documents that you can add to support your application, as just you have done on the initial visitor visa. So if you've not seen my visitor visa application, you can go and search it out and then watch, so that you know the documents you need to reattach here as well, explaining in your statement of purpose why you want to extend your stay. So you need to provide proper information and clarification. If it's on compassionate grounds, you need to clearly state that here. So since we've clarified that, you know the application fee is about 100 CAD, and then you make your payment and wait for 186 days for a decision on your application. Now that that's covered, we're going to start by filling the IME 5708 and then the IME 5257 here. Remember, all you need to do is just click it and it's going to auto download on your desktop. So let's go to the form filling. So this is the IME 5708 and then this is the IME 5257, the two application forms that we need to fill. So we're going to start off by filling the IME 5708, which is application to change conditions, extend my stay, or remain in Canada as a visitor or temporary residence permit holder. So we're going to start by inserting our UCI. If you do not have your UCI, the way to locate it is on your application. So if you pull out your biometrics, you would see your UCI on it, which is biometrics letter that you got when you initially got your first visa issued to you. So let's assume that the UCI is 1122345678. Usually it's a smaller number than that. So what service do you want? You want your service in English. I'm applying for one or more of the following to extend my status as a visitor. You click on it, then you scroll. When you click on restore, so restore status is for those who have already overstayed their visitor visa and then they want to restore their status as a visitor. So we're not restoring is more expensive, but yeah, it's about the same process. Maybe later in the future, probably we'll do a video on that. So we proceed to family name, which is in my case Eziefule. Given name is Ifechukwu Chibueze. Have you ever used any other name? No. So you click on no here and scroll down. My sex is male. Date of birth, we had selected 1998, July 21, and then city of birth is Lagos. Country is Nigeria. Country of citizenship is also Nigeria, so we just choose that here. Sorry, I didn't select. I'm not from Niger. So yeah, that's about it. And country of residence, we have Canada automatically selected on the form, so you can also come here and type that yourself, but it's automatically selected because remember you had indicated that you're there on visit. So you click visitor and what date you enter. This is your day of entry, so let's calculate like 5 months prior to today. That should be rightfully sometime in July. So let's assume I arrived on the 2025, then you put it as 07 as then 25. So and yeah, my stay is due to expire sometime in December, which is 2025 12/24. You see, that's it. Perfect. So previous country of residence, you have yes, I was resident in Nigeria, so I'm gonna put country territory here as Nigeria. Status citizen, of course, and from my birth, well, some people have multiple residencies, so you have two options here. Nigeria, maybe another country. Perhaps you were in Nigeria and then you went to the UK, and from the UK you came to Canada. But yeah, for me, let's just put it that yeah, I've been in Nigeria all through. So we just put 1998, 07, 21, up until the day I left for Canada. I had never resided in any other country. That's just remember this educational purpose. So I'm just stating it might not apply to you. Probably are a frequent traveler and you've been to several places. So let's say I left Nigeria on the 24th here, arrived Canada on the 25th here. So we scroll down. What's your current marital status? For me, it's single, and I'll indicate appropriately. And then it blurs out the indication for married if I have a spouse. Then you scroll down further. It's already picked up my name as applicant's name here, date of birth. Then personal details. Have you been previously married? Nope. All of that has been blurred. Makes it easy. I mean, I feel like when you're filling out an application form, it's a whole lot easier when you do not have a spouse because you don't need to fill too many, or if you do not have kids. But do not fidget. The process is easy. If you have kids, you just indicate appropriately, or if you have a spouse. So mother language English. So we just choose it here as English. Are you able to communicate in English? Yes, English. So yeah. Have you taken tests from a designated testing agency? Nope. Passport number B012345667. Country of issue is Nigeria once more. We are everywhere. Okay, so issue date. Let's assume that my passport issue date was 2025/01/24. So expiry will be 2035/01/23. Yeah. So you scroll down further. Do you have an NIN number? Yes, please. Nigerian nationals do have NIN, but let's see. My NIN is this number. Country of issue Nigeria once more. Date of issue, usually the date of your international passport. So if you have a separate date, you put that information there. Date of expiry as well. 2035/01/23. Yep. Are you a lover or permanent resident of the United States? Nope. You scroll down. Current mailing address. Obviously, this would be like your address in Canada. So let's say number 30, number 3089. Let's call it Walton Street, Kitchener, Canada. Province, Ontario. N0B1E0. Okay, so that's about it. Same as mailing address. Yes, residential address is same as mailing address. Telephone number, others, you can retain your Nigerian number here. Cellular country code 234-80123-45678. Alternate telephone number, no, not applicable. Fax number, no. Email address, maybe it's ifechukwu@gmail.com. Yeah, that's not an actual email of mine, so you don't go sending a message there. Okay, so when here coming into Canada, date and place of your original entry into Canada. So the date you entered into Canada, you scroll up a bit, you see the date you entered here. You stated you entered on the 25th of July. So, and then we are in Ontario. So let's assume that I came in through Toronto Pearson Airport. So I'm just going to choose 2025/07/25. Yeah, then choose Toronto. Original purpose for coming into Canada is to visit, so a family visit. Date and place of your most recent entry into Canada, if not the same as original entry, it remains the same, so no need to fill any information there. If applicable, provide document number of the most recent visitor record, study permit, work permit, or temporary resident permit issued to you. So your visitor visa would have a number on it, so that's the number that you want to have to put here. So you check the number of your visitor visa and then provide the information of the document number and put it here. Since the format I entered is incorrect, so I need to be able to, well, we just ignore that because then I do not have a valid visa that I want to display here. The valid visa number I want to display publicly here. So from your visa, you would certainly be able to see that information here. I don't want to have to provide sensitive information here for the document to pick it up and then someone picks it up online. Purpose of my visit. So purpose of my visit is also family visa. So maybe tourism, you want to extend your stay, but most people it's family visa, I know. So that's it. And indicate how long you intend to stay. I intend to stay for a further 6 months, or maybe 5 months, or maybe 4 months. But however, it starts from 2025 December 24th. Then it goes on to, let's say, December, January, February, March, April. Let's say you want to do an extra 4 months, so we'll do 2026 04 23. Yep. Funds available, 5,000 card as a visitor. You don't need so much money. You're staying with family, you're visiting family, but if you're tourism, you probably need to reevaluate that cost because you will certainly be spending a whole lot more. My expenses in Canada will be paid by who? Maybe myself, thereabout. So name and relationship of person in or institution I'll be visiting. Let's say my sisters were in Canada, so maybe I'll just put my sister's name as Eziefule Ada. Relationship to me is sister. Address in Canada, you just come back here and pick up the address I had initially used here, which is this number 389 Walton Street, assuming that this was actually her address. Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. So this is whom I'm visiting. Have you had any post-secondary school education? Yes, please. So you put your education, let's say 2011, 03, bachelor's degree, Bachelor of Engineering, SC, University of Lagos, 2015, 08, Lagos, Nigeria, from where I got my education at. Okay, employment, let's assume I've been working with 360 since 2016, and that's about 06. Director, 360 Travel and Tours. 360 Travel and Tours Limited, up until date. So I'll just leave that, put the date here 2025, put it as 07. So Lagos, Nigeria. Yeah, that's about it. Employment continued. If you have more employment, this is for people. I cannot be putting multiple employment, so I just choose one. However, if you have multiple employment, you can put 1 to up to 3 options of your previous employment history. So let's answer the security questions. Within the past 2 years, have you or a family member ever had tuberculosis? No. Do you have any physical or mental disorder? Nope. So have you ever remained beyond the validity of your status? Nope. Have you ever been refused a visa permit or denied entry into Canada? Nope. Have you previously entered or remained in Canada? Nope. So you scroll down. Have you ever committed or been arrested or been charged or convicted of any crime or offense? No. Did you serve in the Ministry of Defense? Nope. And are you or have you ever been a member or seated with any political party or group organization? No. Have you ever witnessed or participated in the ill treatment of prisoners or civilians, looting or desecrating religious building? No. These are all security questions. Background security. Do you consent to be contacted by IRCC in the future? Yes. Signature of applicant or legal parent, in my case is my own name, so just put that here and then put the date 25 November 09. Oh, it's actually November 10th today. So that's about it. Then you click on validate. So there's an information that is wrong, which is my document number. So once you click on validate, it validates it, and that's automatic signature. Then you can now come back and upload your document on the IRCC portal. You just come here and upload it back. This is the IME
5708. So let us go now to the next form, which is the form IM5257. Now, this one is pretty straightforward. So, application for temporary residence. They are primary applicants, his or her spouse or common partner, if applicable, and all dependent children or older listed in the application for temporary residence must complete their own copy of this form. Why did I come down to read this out is that if you have kids that are applying with you, or maybe you are applying for your spouse, they are all, you people are all applying together, ensure that you fill this form for each individual applicant, and it will be uploaded for each and every one of them. So indicate whether you are the primary applicant. In this case, yes, primary applicant is only me anyway, so it makes it easy. My firm name is here, my given name is here, my UCI 1123456789. So date of birth 1998 0721. Military service. Did you serve in the military or civil defense unit? In my case, it's no. So that closes up the entire parameter of questions that I would have filled for dates. Have you ever witnessed or participated in ill-treatment of prisoners or civilians? Nope. Membership association with organization. Have you ever been associated with a political party, group, or organization which have engaged or advocated for violence? Nope. Government positions. Have you ever held any government positions? No. Previous travel since the age of 18 during the past 5 years. Whichever is most recent. Have you traveled to any country or territory other than your current country of citizenship or your current country of residence? Well, yes, in my case. So let's just say, okay, I want to put my most recent trip to the US. I say, okay, I traveled to the US sometime in 2025, and that was in June. So yeah, and it was the same 2025 June. I also returned. So you put country or territory, it's actually the United States. Location was Pennsylvania. Purpose of travel was for tourism. So yeah, that's about it. And then you click on validate. Validation successful. Can you see this? Once you click on that, it's okay and it's saved. So you click on save. Validation is already successful. You can tell based on the information you see here, protected when completed. Eziefule, my date of birth has been noted, everything is done. So you click on save. Then you upload your documents on the IRCC portal. Remember to get your documents in order. The documents you use in initial application, I don't need to walk you through the checklist again. We've already done that initially. So ensure that you upload all the documents you used when you are uploading for the initial travel and your updated bank statements. If you have any questions, you can drop it for me in the comment section. I will then indicate appropriately what I had done in my own case and what probably you might be able to do. But I still recommend you go to the IRCC website and then review their directives or consult a proper immigration consultant if you have any proper questions. Now, if you enjoy the content that I do and what I create, don't forget to share this video with someone that likes and needs it. And also, do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching to this day.